I'd love to get your take on how valuable was it to go to a place like Tuskegee, a historically Black college university kind of setting. Do you think that was really important for you? Do you think it would have been different had you gone to some other place?
Yeah, I think it was extremely important for me. And there are many reasons, but one of the key reasons for me was that it's a relatively small private school, always having around 3,000 students, give or take. So it's not a huge campus. That's one thing. The second thing is that it's extremely historic.
Mhm.
So it's not just a historically Black college, but Tuskegee happened to be a bastion of intellectual development. And in its infancy, when it was first being formed, people were being drawn to the Tuskegee area because of the great intellectuals that were there. You didn't just have Booker T. Washington, which everyone knows, but you also had George Washington Carver. And Carver has been gone for many years, but his work, his research is still widely used. So you had these, intellectuals that were in a real sense, larger than life, who came to Tuskegee
Mhm.
and made a contribution. And so when I came to Tuskegee, I was standing on the shoulders of these folks, right? And there were artifacts all over the campus that helped remind us about these people having been there. So that was a second reason. The third reason I think was a little bit more sort of pragmatic, and that was that when I was at school, the professors knew who I was. They knew me by name, and they had, once they come to know you, or once they came to know me, they had expectations of me, and those expectations were high. So it's not like an example where you go to university, you sort of plunged out into the water and you sink or swim. This was a situation where that kind of intimacy with professors and students created a kind of caring sensation, right? You felt like they cared about you. And in fact, they were almost sort of parenting in their sort of care, right? Not doing the work of parents, but really having that sort of impression that made you feel like you had to be responsible to them. I'll give you one little anecdote on that. When I was in school, I was very active and had a number of sort of extracurricular things going on. One of the things I did is I got involved in campus politics, and I was elected Student Government Association president. And I took the job very seriously. And so I was going around speaking. I spoke at every HBCU in the state of Alabama when I was there, going around the country speaking and so forth. So I fancied myself a public speaker, and here I was a teenager and 20 years old. And so um, because of that, my schedule, if you will, right, started to interfere with my class schedule. And I missed a few classes. And I'll never forget going into a class. The professor's name was Dr. Glenda Gill. I walked in the class and she said, "Mr. Witherspoon, I know that you're a very important person. You're going around making all these speeches and so forth." She said, "But you will attend my class." And she said that in front of the entire class.
I see.
And of course, I never missed her class again. But that's an example of how the instructors knew you, they knew what you were doing, they cared for you, but they also held you accountable. So a
Mhm.
place like Tuskegee offers much, much more than an education.
Mhm.
So a little long-winded way of saying that, but that's kind of why I think it was crucial to have attended Tuskegee.